This is the trail. Alright, so here's the AT. You can go around it, but you can go around it that way if you want to. No horses.
Hi, my name's Jeff Davis. I own a hostel, Jeff Davis's. I wrote this. It's called The Ode to the AT. We live like kings and queens in the land of the beast, with our jet bowl stove and mountain house feast. Will the rain come? Will the rain go? We have no reception. How the hell should we know? This journey we're on is long and it's fine, and we can only take it one day at a time. I travel uphill, we travel downhill, and we travel uphill again. I'll see you at the shelter. Happy trails, my friends.
It's day 44 on the Appalachian Trail, and I'm gonna have to step off. Honestly, today's kind of sucked. I will be back, okay? Don't stress. I'm not quitting the trail, but I do need to take some time off of the trail to heal my foot, because right now it's just not getting better. I mean, I took 2 zeros when I was at Boots Off, and that wasn't enough. There's really not much longer that I want to sit at any hostel and wait for my foot to heal. I think that I need weeks. I don't think that a few days is going to do what I need it to do. So I had to make a very tough decision yesterday and today to go home to take care of myself so that I can get back on the trail and I can continue to hike throughout my life. I don't want to create a bigger problem. So it's been a hard day. It's been a very emotional day, but I'm surrounded by very supportive and helpful and empathetic people who are, you know, there for me through this just like annoying decision. It's really annoying because I do just feel so strong. I feel like I got my trail legs. I feel mentally there. I want to be here. Like, I don't want to go home. That's the worst part of this, is that I want to stay on trail, but I know I can't keep hiking the way that my foot and my ankle is right now. So I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take a few weeks off, see some doctors, figure out what's going on, how I can best rehab my foot to get me back on the trail as soon as possible. This is a goodbye for now, not a goodbye forever. We will be back for day 45. I can promise you that. Hello. Today I hiked 2.2 miles from the Rhododendron Gap tenting area to Massey Gap, where I got picked up by Jeff Davis, who owns Jeff Davis's hostel, which is where I'm going to be staying tonight. He's an incredible human, so kind. I don't know if I could have asked for a better person to be here with me through this emotional day. So it's been great. It's a cute place. It's a very new hostel, like literally just opened. He's got lots of goats and chickens and the sweetest Rottweilers I've ever met in my life. I'm actually really afraid of big dogs and like scary dogs, or dogs that are, you know, we're taught to be afraid of, but I haven't even thought twice about these dogs. They're just like cats. They're like, yeah? Oh! Is that the trout? Hey, I'm home. Quick break to me even farther in the future. Before I even get into all of the explanations you're about to hear, I just wanted to tell you about a piece of graffiti that I saw in the privy at the Muskrat Creek shelter on the 8th day of my thru hike. This is relevant, so stay with me. I was sitting in the privy and there was some graffiti on the wall that said, "Is this the greatest thing you'll ever do?" And my immediate answer was, I hope not. I hope that hiking the AT isn't the greatest thing I'll ever do. And I have thought about that piece of graffiti every single day since then. It's like a daily ritual for me when I was hiking to think about that. Is this the greatest thing I'll ever do? And I kept wondering if my answer would change, and it hasn't. My answer is still no. I hope that hiking the AT is not the greatest thing I'll ever do. I hope that it is one of many things that I do throughout my life that are great and amazing. For that reason, getting off trail to come home was the correct decision. Hiking the AT is not everything for me. It is not my life. It's not my one goal. It is one of many goals that I have. And for that reason, it was very important for me to take my health seriously and get off the trail and manage my foot in a very cautious way, because I need my foot. It is very important for me to be able to hike, to be able to go on backpacking trips, to be able to run and climb and remain active. I mean, almost every single hobby that I have involves my body and being active, and I just would not enjoy a life where I can't do those things anymore. So I'm not willing to sacrifice my permanent health for this temporary goal. And beyond even my hobbies, I need my body in my job. I work in construction. in like the labor side. So my body is also my job. Without my body, I don't have income or a livelihood. So is this the greatest thing I'll ever do? No. I really, really hope not. And so I'm not willing to sacrifice my personal health and my safety and the longevity of my career and my hobbies for this one through hike. It might seem extreme that I got off the trail for so many weeks when I could have taken a couple days or just a couple of weeks. And I know people hike through tendinitis, they hike through their plantar fasciitis. This is just my explanation for why I will not be one of those people doing that. I'm very aware that there are people on the trail hiking with these issues, and I'm just not going to be one of them. I want to be able to do this hike in a way that is healthy for me and where I can get off the trail and continue to do other through hikes, other trails, other really cool things. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that quick disclaimer in there before we get into everything else in case you think this is extreme, basically. Okay. Love you. Let me take you through kind of what happened. I was having the problems with my foot. The pain was so bad, you guys, that I could not hike. I could barely get myself from the Rhododendron Gap tent site to Massey Gap to be picked up. Like that 2.2 miles was so insanely difficult for me. I should pull up the stats, but I was going about 1 mile an hour, which is very slow for me. I typically walk 2 miles an hour when I'm being careful and 3 miles when I can cruise. So 1 mile an hour is just, I think, very telling of how much pain I was in. And that section was also incredibly rocky. That's like exactly what hurts, because the problem is my foot kind of rocking side to side. So the night before that happened, I was in a lot of pain. Just getting to camp, I was in pain, and then walking around from the bear box to my dinner site to get water and everything, I was limping everywhere. I could barely walk without any weight on my back, let alone with weight on my back. So I texted Jeff Davis of Jeff Davis's hostel. I just asked him if he had any bunks available for the next night, the following night, and if he also might provide a shuttle to the airport if I needed one. I was just trying to get an idea of what my options were. And yeah, he was very sweet. He was offering to pick me up that night. I mean, we were messaging, I think, at like 9 p.m. and he was ready to come and get me from the trailhead, but there's no way I would have been able to make that hike in the dark. He ended up picking me up the next day, and just that 2 mile hike to the car is kind of what solidified in my mind that I need to go home and rest my ankle / foot. There's just no way that I was gonna be able to continue hiking on it. Just every day it was getting worse and worse. And from what I was reading, when I thought it was just plantar fasciitis, it was saying like anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks of rest to heal. So my thought process was I need about 2 weeks to rest, but maybe more. And I don't really want to spend 2 weeks or even 1 week in a hostel. And financially, it just made more sense for me to come home and heal up. Here's the thing. I was gonna have to go home no matter what at some point for just a couple days stretch, because I have an autoimmune disease. It is a type of inflammatory arthritis that affects my spine and my large joints, and to manage the autoimmune disease I have to have infusion treatments every couple of months. I literally wouldn't be able to hike without the infusions, and so those are on a very regular schedule, and I have to have them done in person with my doctors here in Oregon. So I was gonna have to go home after a couple months on trail anyway and I was planning to take like a 4-day break off of trail. So like the thought was like, if everything goes well, 2 weeks is what I need to rest to be able to be back in condition to start hiking the trail again. But then I would get on the trail and hike for like maybe a week and a half, and then I would have to fly home. So it just didn't make sense, basically, to stay on the trail or near the trail in a hostel or with family living nearby. It just made the most sense for me to just come home, and now I will have 4 whole weeks to heal and get back on track so that I can get back on the trail, get my infusion, get everything I need, and then go back. It sucks. It really sucks that the timing worked out the way that it did. I wish that I would have hurt myself 1 week later. Like just 1 week later would have made so much more sense for me and felt so much more manageable in my mind, just taking 3 weeks off to recover, and then, oh, it lines up with my infusion, how perfect. But now it's, I probably need 2 to 3 weeks to heal, and then I'm just sitting here for an extra week for no reason, and yeah, it sucks. But it's just the way that it worked out. I just don't believe that there was a better way for me to handle this situation. I think I made the right choice coming home. One of the big benefits of me coming home is that I was able to rule out my foot being broken. So surprise, it wasn't broken. That was a genuine concern of mine because I was having a really hard time bearing weight on my left foot by the last couple of days. I was having a ton of sharp pain on the outside of my left foot, and I was genuinely concerned that I could have fractured or broken a bone or did some really serious damage to my foot because I hiked 2.2 miles that last day and was limping for the entire rest of that day around the hostel. So being home, I was able to go to an urgent care clinic, get some x-rays done. I don't have any breaks in my foot. There's nothing that suggests any kind of serious ligament or tendon tear or anything like that. So it's just tendinitis. We've officially determined I have plantar fasciitis and posterior tibial tendinitis, so my peroneal tendon, which is the one that runs along the outside of my foot. And I was blown away at urgent care when the physician traced my peroneal tendon for me to show me where it ran along my foot. Maybe I can put like a diagram or something on the screen, but he traced it down and it ended exactly where I was having that sharp pain in my foot that was concerning me, making me think that there might be a broken bone. So it was right where the peroneal tendon ends in the outside of my foot is where the majority of my pain was. And then I also did have a ton of residual, like, dull pain up the back of my ankle on the outside of my foot, and that's also the peroneal tendon. So that was the main problem. That was the thing that ended up making it so I couldn't put weight on my foot. That's where all of the pain was. And then just on top of that, I had some plantar fasciitis. So anyway, I've been getting physical therapy for both of those issues. I'm going to physical therapy 2 times a week, every week while I'm home. Just got done with my first session, woohoo! I think it went well. I walked a whole half a mile on the treadmill at the end of the day. That is actually not the farthest I've walked since I've gone home. I walked to Fred Meyer the other day and it was like 1.2 miles or something. That's the farthest I've walked since being home, and I did it without any pain. So on top of going to physical therapy twice a week, I am also doing at-home physical therapy exercises 3 days of the week that I'm not doing it in person. I'm doing exercises at home, and then every single day I have some ankle stretches that they're having me do to improve mobility in my left ankle and decrease the swelling. My initial tests, or whatever you want to call them, that they did at the physical therapist's office found that there's like a bunch of ways they have you turn your ankle, and my right ankle, I can turn it 25 degrees, and my left ankle turns 10 degrees. So there's a definite loss of mobility. I'm hoping it's mostly just due to the swelling on the tendons, but then, yeah, I don't know. So that was a thing I learned, so we're trying to increase the mobility. And then I also learned that my hips are so weak. They have you do this thing where you lay on your side and you like lift one leg up and they push down on your leg, and you're supposed to not let them push, and I just collapsed. Like my outer hips just fully fell down. Like I could not stop him. So that was humbling. Everything in your legs is connected, and so it's possible that the reason I'm having ankle problems is because my hips are weak. And so if my hips are not carrying their weight, basically, my ankle is one of the things that's taking on extra work, and that can lead to injury. So yeah, working on strengthening the ankle, strengthening the hips, all the fun things. My physical therapist thinks I'll be able to get back out on the trail in a couple of weeks, no problem. He is being realistic in that it's possible I get on the trail, I hike another 400 to 500 miles and have the exact same problem again, because just a few weeks is just not enough time to strengthen the things that are causing the injury. So yeah, that will kind of change my plan moving forward and how I'm gonna do the rest of the trail, because I have no interest in getting back out there and doing the exact same thing again and ending up back home. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna get back out there and we're gonna finish the trail. So I'm going to rearrange my hike so that that can be more realistic for me. It's officially been 2 weeks since I've been home, and I think I have a pretty good idea of my plan for my hike moving forward. I've spent a lot of the last couple of weeks thinking about that, and I'm gonna do kind of a crazy flip-flop. The easiest thing for me to do would be to just flip up to Katahdin and then hike south to where I ended at Massey Gap, but I wanted to go northbound for a reason. I like the traditional route. It's just what I've always dreamed of doing in my thru hike. I always envisioned starting at the arch and ending at Katahdin, and so I want to end as much as possible at Katahdin. That just feels really special to me. It's absolutely not necessary. It's logistically more annoying. It's more expensive to do it this way, but this is the way that I want to do it. So I am going to flip up farther north than where I just got off trail, because if I started there after this long break, there's no way I would make it to Katahdin before Baxter State Park closes in mid-October. And having that time constraint is also stressful for me. It makes me do higher mileage days when it maybe isn't the best thing for me physically. So I want to get there actually a lot earlier than mid-October, so that way I have plenty of time to get to Katahdin and the time constraint is not a concern when I get back on trail with a freshly healed foot and ankle. I'll be able to do lower mileage days and not have to worry about if I'm going to be able to beat the weather, essentially. So here's the plan. I'm going to flip up very far north on the trail, somewhere that I know I will have plenty of time to make it from there to Katahdin before Baxter State Park closes in mid-October, so that time constraints are just not an issue. I have a pretty good idea of what town I'm going to go to, but I'm not going to disclose it for safety reasons, and also I'm not fully committed to the town that I'm going to. In fact, if you have suggestions for towns in the northern half of the trail that I could go to that is easy to get to on public transportation and is relatively easy hiking, I know that's not really a thing once you get up there, but yeah, if you know any towns that kind of meet that criteria, absolutely let me know. I would love to hear people's suggestions, but I have a town in mind. The plan is to travel from Oregon to that town, and then I'm gonna hike north to Katahdin because I want Katahdin to feel special. I want it to feel like something I earned, and so I'm trying to hike as many miles before Katahdin as possible so that it still feels like a special place, even though it's no longer going to be my finishing location on my thru hike. So I'll get up to Katahdin, and then from there, I'm gonna travel back down to whatever town I flew to originally, and then hike southbound to connect the 700, 800, 900 miles of trail that I'm gonna miss, essentially. So when I get to Katahdin, I'm still gonna have 700 to 900 more miles to go. Like, my thru hike will not be over at Katahdin. So that is the plan moving forward. There will obviously be a pretty big gap between my day 44 vlog and my day 45 vlog, because I'm not going to be back on trail for a few more weeks. It's probably going to be about a month before my next vlog comes up. On the plus side, I'll have vlogs going out really late into the year, which you don't always get that a lot, so that could be exciting, right? Other than that, that's all of my updates. The only other thing that I've done really since getting home is I did get a new pair of shoes. So I think I'm gonna ditch the Topos for now for the long distance hike, and I got a pair of Brooks Cascadias. The Brooks Cascadia 19 is what it is. I ordered them, so I don't have them in person yet, but gonna try out a new shoe. I think that these shoes are gonna be really good for me. I'm gonna take them on a test hike sometime this week, and maybe a backpacking trip actually in a couple of weeks once my foot heals, and then I'm just at the point that I'm waiting to get back on the trail. I'm thinking about going on a trip, so I'll get to test out the shoes and my foot and everything before I officially get back on trail. But I'm already just so excited to get back out there. I'm itching to be back on the trail. I'm trying to pass the time at home as quickly as possible so that I can just be on the trail again, because it's really all I want right now. Thanks so much for all of your support and your kind words. I really appreciate it. I apologize for the break in the vlogs that's about to happen. I know that I'm a part of people's daily routine, which is so cool, and I really appreciate you guys watching my videos like that. So I'll be back, but we're gonna have to take a month off from each other. I'll miss you too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.